It's true, I mourned our baby before I could celebrate about their arrival. Her brows were knitted together. I wasn't carrying. No need to lie, Vayan. I very well know what you did with our baby without consulting me. I had the right to know, Vayan, I did. But you snatched my right from me, took decisions on my behalf. You did wrong with me. What do you think I was insulting you every damn day for? I am not some immature teenager that I couldn't handle and simple breakup and planned for revenge. No, Ryan, I am not childish. I know how to man up. Breaking up with me was your wish. I would have respected your decision, though I was very much in love with you. One strong reason from your side, as in why you wanted to break up with me, I would have respected that. But you, Ryan, you deprived me of knowing our child. Our baby, for whose existence I too was equally responsible. The lover, partner, boyfriend in me wasn't insulting you every damn day, Ryan. It was the father in me who was burning in rage and revenge. His eyes became glossy and he bit his lips to control his emotions. Your words are genuine. But Taehyung, how can I make you believe this? Years of life, I was never once gotten pregnant. Neither 4 years ago when we broke up nor when we were dating. I wasn't carrying our baby. How can you say this, Vagan? I have your abortion reports. I have your abortion reports which you had done 4 years ago. You are having some big misunderstanding. I never have done abortion, for God's sake. I was never pregnant to do abortion. Where you even got this thought that I was pregnant? If I was really pregnant, then why wouldn't I have told you before leaving you? Why wouldn't I fight back? Check up, yes, and choose whoever doctor you seem to be best. Think about it, Taehyung. Why would I give you number to hospital if I wanted to hide this fact from you that I was pregnant? At hospital. The sterile white of the hospital room was a stark contrast to the turmoil as he passed back and forth. Wayne lay on the examination bed, her eyes closed, a picture of vulnerability that tugged at his heart. His voice barely above a whisper. Well, what does it say? Dr. Kim took a moment before speaking, understanding the weight of her words. There's been an insignificant misunderstanding. Ivayan never had an abortion. The records were false. There's no medical history of such a procedure, she said in her professional tone. In any mental state to correct her, so he went towards Wayan and both headed towards their home. He didn't even utter a word. Silence that had involved their journey back from the hospital weighed heavily on her. She pushed the door open, her heart pounding in her chest. The edge of the bed, his gaze lost to the floor, he looked up as Wayan entered, her figure wrapped in his shirt which hung loosely over her frame, a stark contrast to the wedding gown she had shed hours earlier. While still sitting on his bed, he reached out, his arms encircling her waist, pulling her closer. Silent tears traced paths down his cheeks, and Vayan's heart clenched at the sight. Hey, it's all right, I am here now, she softly murmured. I am sorry, Wyatt, for everything. I was hurt, I lashed out at you without knowing the truth, his voice breaking with each word. I am sorry too for leaving without explaining, for letting you believe those lies. This was low, each word heavy with the weight of unshed tears and years of pain. Why I never hated you for leaving. Breakups are hard, but I was mature enough to handle it. Yes, I was hurt, deeply hurt, but not to the point of cruelty. He paused, his grip on her waist tightening ever so slightly. I never would have taken your job away out of vengeance. That's not who I am. But when I believed you had aborted our child without telling me, it broke something inside me. His voice cracked and he took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. The father in me hated you for that. I lashed out with words that I can never take back, and for that I am truly sorry. Wayne reached up, her hand gently cupping his cheek, feeling the wetness of his tears. Even imagine how it must have felt leaving with that belief. It was like leaving with a ghost, haunted by what could have been, by the family we lost. He said, closing his eyes. He opened his eyes, his gaze locking with hers. We both have our regrets, but we have a chance now, a chance to start over, to heal together. Faint smile touching his lips for the first time in what felt like an eternity. But he frowned, remembering something. Who could have done this, Vayan? Who staged all this lies? And why did you even left me? You never clarified. Vayan hesitated, the words catching in her throat. She had carried this secret for too long, and it weighted on her like a physical burden. Your father, my stepmother, they wouldn't pay for my dad's treatment unless I left you. I was young, scared, and I didn't know what else to do. Pulled back, searching his eyes for the sincerity he had always known in her. I wish you had trusted me, we could have faced it together. Tears welled up in her eyes. I know, I was naive and I thought I had no choice. My stepmother, she have taken all my dad's properties and left me with nothing. They stood there in the quiet room, two hearts beginning to mend the fractures of the past. her tears just as she had his, and in that moment a silent promise was meant to rebuild, to forgive, and to heal together. A month later, facing each other, the weight of the past 4 years hanging between them, the silence palpable, filled with unspoken apologies and the fragile hope of forgiveness. Vine's eyes, once dull with the pain of betrayal, now simmered with unshed tears. Forgiveness is a bridge, and we both need to meet in the middle. I have been waiting on my side for so long. I was blinded by my heart, but now I see. My father, he manipulated us both, pitting us against each other for his gain. But no more. We believe the truth. As they stood there, the last rays of the sun dipped below the horizon, signaling the end of the day but the beginning of their journey. A journey not of contract or convenience, but of choice and a shared future. Few months later, stood before the grand estate that once belonged to Vine's family. The air was thick with anticipation, the kind that precedes a storm, or in this case, the ripening of years long wrong. The confrontation was a brief but in truth unveiled, and justice on his side didn't flinch as he faced the women who had wronged his wife. Was steady. I am here not just as a man reclaiming what's rightfully my wife's, but as a husband correcting the injustice done to the women I love. Victory was in the tears and the smile Vine wore when he handed her the papers. It was in the way she looked at him, not with the shadows of the past, but with the light of a future they could now rebuild together. The opulent hall, with its high ceiling and grand chandeliers, was a stark witness to the reckoning that was about to unfold. Vine stood resolute, her eyes blazing with a fire that had been kindled over years of injustice. His presence a quiet storm of support for the women he loved. Vine then said, her voice unwavering, "You thought you could control our fates, manipulate our lives like pawns on your chessboard, but the game is over." Stated, attempting to interject. Vine said, cutting him off sharply. "Silence. I will listen to your lies for far too long." "How dare you make Taehyung believe that I had abortion? How dare you?" Silent, his eyes locked on the faces of those who had caused him so much pain. His heart swelled with pride as Vian, once a timid secretary, now stood before them as the embodiment of strength and justice. Then sneered, "And what will you do? You are nothing without..." Vine said with a cold smile playing on her lips. "Without what? This mind beside me? You are mistaken. Together we are everything, and you are the nothing you always feared to be." One by one, Vine laid out the consequences of their actions, legal, financial, and social. With each word, the world seemed to close in on of the couple of years later. As they approached, Mr. Lee couldn't contain his eagerness, stepping forward with a speed that built his edge. Mr. Lee then asked, his voice trembling with anticipation, "What's the report? Tell me, my children." Twain, a silent nod passing between them, they turned to face her father, their smiles broad and bright. "It's positive that we are going to have a baby," he exclaimed, his voice filled with joy. A blush crept onto Vine's cheeks, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears of happiness. Mrs. Choi clasped her hands together, her own eyes misting over. "Oh, bless you both. This is wonderful news." Mr. Lee stepped forward, engulfing them both in a warm embrace. His laughter, rich, hearty, filled the air. "I am going to be a grandpa. Oh, how long I have waited for this day." The caretaker, Mrs. Choi, joined in the embrace, her own emotions bubbling over as she whispered blessings and well wishes. Arms wrapped around each other, the city lights twinkled below, mirroring the stars above, as they both gazed onto the night, lost in thought. "Can you believe it, Vian? After everything, fate has brought us back together stronger than ever," he said with a content smile. Vian then said while leaning her head against his shoulder, "Now, with our little one on the way, it feels like our love has come full circle. They shared a moment of silence, each thankful for the journey that had led them here to this moment of peace and anticipation. Said, breaking into a smile. So, have you thought about names? What if it's a boy? I have a few in mind. What about you? Laughing softly, she murmured. I was thinking if he's anything like me, maybe Minjan, smart and strong. Oh, so we are setting expectations already. However, Gio, brave and wise, Vine replied him teasingly. Said, nudging her gently. Gio is good, but what about Hanuel? It means sky. He will have no limits.